Hey peeps, welcome to the Crafty Witch UK. My name is Arietta, and today I've got a little bit of a whip and chat for you that comes in the form of some tag questions. I'm going to be answering these whilst I work on my canvas for the hashtag Rude Crude Nude event, which is going on throughout August. So, settle in, get yourself a warm beverage or some crafting of your own to get on with, and I hope you like flesh tones, because there's a lot of flesh tones in this video. Okay, so the tag questions. I was tagged by Tegan at Dragon Jewels Creative Gems. Please do go and check out their channel. I will pop a link in the description so that you can go and find them. Really lovely creator, lovely channel, wonderful addition to the community. So I was tagged by her, and there are a bunch of questions that you have to answer and then tag some other people. So that's what I'm going to do. So question number 1, how many diamond paintings have you completed? I had to do a fair amount of going back through videos and logbooks and things to work this out. I think it's about 56. This doesn't include off the canvas items like key rings or purses or wreath designs that I've done, and I also haven't included the Paint Gem minis in that number. But yeah, about 56, so a few. Question number 2, how many diamond paintings do you currently have in your stash? Okay, this is not as bad as I thought, I guess. I don't know. So again, it's a bit of a guesstimate, based on actual boxes that I can see, and then I know I've got a folder with some smaller canvases in. So it's about 40, but that is a mixture of the big well-known brands, small businesses, and our budget canvases. So yeah, I've got enough to keep me going for a while. Question 3, when did you begin diamond painting? This is an easy one. September 2020. I was bought a diamond painting kit for my 41st birthday. It was a colleague at work who knew that I liked crafts of all different varieties. They had recently discovered diamond painting, and they decided to pass on the addiction by buying me a kit. So yeah, that was my first kit, and it was a square. So yeah. Next question. Whizzing through these, I should probably slow down a little bit. If you could only purchase from one diamond painting company for the rest of your life, who would you purchase from and why? Oh, this is so tricky. I always want to support small businesses, and whenever I can, I would want to buy local. So if I could only ever purchase from one company, those would kind of be top of my list of things to think about. So yeah, if I was limited to only ever buy from one company, I would probably say Prism. They are UK based. They've got a great range available. I like their quality. I like their customer service. I think, there are a number of great UK companies that are, they are getting ever more artists to license with them. But yeah, if I had to pick one, Prism, that's who I'm choosing. Next question. When diamond painting, what is your go-to media to consume? Audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube, etc. So, I love my audiobooks. Hashtag not sponsored, but I do love Audible. Love a good podcast. I've got several that I regularly listen to, and then some that I will go back and listen to again and again because they make me smile or I'm interested in the topics. I like films, and there are a lot of podcasts about films, so that tends to be quite a common one for me. I love music, but I can't listen to music and diamond paint because I find myself bobbling about in my chair trying to dance, which doesn't help when placing diamonds, obviously. YouTube obviously is great too. I like to set up a playlist of long form content, so I don't have to keep stopping to choose something new to watch. So setting up a playlist of videos and then just letting that run with my headphones on. I tend to go for things that don't really require me to look at them. So that's what something like this, somebody else doing tag questions, will be perfect for me to listen to whilst I'm diamond painting. When I'm not crafting, I love me some horror movies, but I have found it's near impossible to get into a horror movie while diamond painting because both of those things require your attention. So much of the sort of spookiness of a horror movie is what you see rather than what you hear, or vice versa. But it doesn't work if you're looking at your canvas and you've missed the spooky ghost in the corner, and it sort of takes you out of it too much. So movies, unless it's sort of a comfort movie that I'm really familiar with, I don't tend to do movies while diamond painting. Okay, next question. What is your favourite category to diamond paint, such as landscapes, fantasy, animals, etc.? Looking through what I've completed already, I've done a lot of animals, but anything sort of whimsical, magical, that's my kind of go-to. So I guess fantasy as well. This leads into the next question. So what is the artist you have completed the most diamond paintings from? For me, I think that's probably Mandy Manzano. I loved her artwork from the very first time that I saw it. Every time I'm not really a princessy person, so other than the princess ones, I've been a big fan of her other canvases. We've done the Doctors, we've done the Nightmare Before Christmas, I did the Adventure Time canvas. Mandy Manzano is probably the one there. And the next question, what is the artist you own the most diamond paintings from, as opposed to completed? So that would be Hannah Lynn. I have completed quite a few Hannah Lynn, and I have Hannah Lynn in my stash. I don't currently have any Mandy Manzano in my stash, but I do have Hannah Lynn waiting to be done. Okay, what is your go-to wax when diamond painting? Really, I'm happy with anything. I don't mind the pink wax that comes with the kits. It's fine, it does the job. Given the choice, I like a darker pink wax to a paler pink wax. I don't really know if there's anything in it. I think maybe it's more psychosomatic than anything. But when I can get it, I do like a purple wax. I go through phases of using putty and scented waxes. But I tend to just return to whatever's in the pen. But I do like a wax placer for ABs. Okie dokie, next question. So, what do you do with your finished diamond paintings? Do you hang them, put them in a portfolio, or something else? For me, many of them were gifted. Very early on, I diamond painted to create gifts for people. But now some of them are hanging in my house, many of them are hanging in my house, and some of the smaller ones now I keep in a portfolio. Okay, moving on. Do you like to open your kits right away, or do you keep them sealed until you are ready to work on them? So for me, the nature of making YouTube content means that most canvases I receive are opened quickly for unboxing videos. And I have found on those rare occasions that I haven't done this, inevitably there has been a problem with the canvas, which causes a panic because it might be too late to get it fixed. New companies come and go, licenses come and go, availability of artwork comes and goes. And so if you have got a canvas and you haven't opened it, at least check the contents. Make sure that you put the drills, that the artwork is what you ordered. Check it right away, because if you've left it in your stash, when you come to work on it, you may find that you are unable to get any problems fixed. Touch wood, that has not been a problem for me. There have been problems, but I have been able to get them fixed. So yeah, check your canvases as soon as they arrive, even if you're then gonna box them back up again and store them with your stash. Talking of things going out of stock, what is your number one unicorn kit that you currently do not own but hope to one day? This is a simple one for me. It is Artist Room by Mrs. Butter D. It is currently out of stock at Diamond Art Club. It has been out of stock for an absolute age, and on the one occasion it came back into stock, it went back out again as quick as it came in. I keep checking the D-Stash sites. It will be mine one day. But yeah, that's one that I don't know why. I saw it, I wanted it, I needed it. And yeah, it was one that I've become a little bit obsessed with. Next question. What is the kit in your stash that you are most looking forward to working on? Probably Alphaba, which is a Simona Candini kit. It came from Diamond Art Club. I am a huge Wizard of Oz fan, and I from the books, the films, spin-offs, TV series, musicals, the whole kit and caboodle, I love Wizard of Oz, and I love Simona's artwork. So those two things smushed together, I'm going to be there for it. So yeah, can't wait to work on her. Probably should have organised myself to work on her this month, because it is Oz in Aug, the August Oz-related canvas event. But I have a lot of non-diamond painting stuff going on this month, so I decided to keep it simple and just do one event rather than two. Okay. Do you prefer confetti, colour blocking, or a mixture of both? I really like colour blocking. I find it really satisfying, especially with a nice big multi-placer. But I think the best canvases, the best looking canvases, have a mixture of both. That is how you get, bold images, but with that degree of shading. Yeah, I think you need both. But yeah, good mixture. How do you pick which piece you want to work on next? Good question. For me, I look at what events are happening. I do this sort of December time. I start looking at the next year, and I will look at what events are happening throughout the next 12 months and look in my stash to see what have I got that would fit the event, that I could work on. And then also sort of on a month by month basis, I might reassess that and look at what's in my stash that fits a different event that's suddenly come up that I hadn't heard of before. And then of course there are some months where I don't have anything that fits an event that's already running, and I just work on a canvas because I want to work on a canvas, or because it's a gift for somebody and it has to be done for their birthday or an anniversary. So it varies, but I do like to have a reason to work on a kit. I think that helps to motivate me, particularly on a large canvas or a, you know, fiddly confetti type area. It's I personally like to have a deadline, and I like to have a reason to work on a kit. But not everybody's going to be like that, so, you know, work on the things that make you happy. But yeah, for me, maybe it's a Virgo thing. I like to have a deadline. What is your favourite season or holiday to diamond paint from? Definitely autumn. I'm a September child, and I love autumn. It's my favourite season. So anything that's got those warm, rich colours in. I also, you know, my little witchy heart loves Halloween, loves Samhain, and so anything that falls into those categories of autumn or fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving-esque kind of harvest festival, those kind of things. And just, I'm here for it every time. Do you work on one kit at a time, or do you have multiple WIPs at once? For me, like I said with the events, I do try to do at least one canvas a month. Sometimes I've got a couple on the go at the same time. Sometimes I work on a big one and a little one, or a round one and a square one. It sort of varies. It does depend on what other craft projects I've got going on at the time. Because I am a multi-craft channel, that obviously changes the way that my time is split up between diamond painting and then other crafts, and then of course pagan study stuff as well. So yeah, I have to organise my time. Calendars are important. Neutral dark pieces or colourful pieces. Obviously I talked a little bit about autumn colours already. I don't really mind. I've done some very dark spooky pictures in the past. I'm definitely drawn to those warm tones, autumnal jewel tones, and looking at what I've displayed in my house, I am sort of surprised at how colourful some of them are. And they do range from kind of very pastel through those warm autumn tones and then to bright jewel tones. So yeah, a bit of everything. I don't think I consciously make a decision on a painting based on its colour. Another question here about canvases, large pieces or snack size pieces. Like all things, I think a bit of variety is great. I'm definitely not put off by a big canvas, but they do take a little bit more thought in terms of having the space to work on them comfortably. For example, the canvas I worked on for my February event is bigger than my desk, and so I have to work out how to place that in order to comfortably work on it. And actually I've found recently it's much easier to sling it on the dining room table and work on it there than try and work on it on my desk. Whereas a smaller canvas or a snack size, which for me I would say anything snackish is sort of 40 by 40 or less, I can just fit them on my desk. Even if I've got other projects like, you know, my miniature house or the cloisonne or something, if I've got those out as well, I can still work on them and have my diamond painting out as well. So yeah, it's just, there's a convenience to small paintings. Also, especially if you travel and you want to take one on holiday, small is great. So yeah, it's just about having the space to work on them. And then of course the space to display them. It's a lot easier to put a 30 by 40 into a portfolio when you finish with it, than a massive painting that you've then got to consider if you're going to pay to have it framed or whatever. So, placing diamonds with tweezers or a pen. Pen for most diamonds. but I think, as I mentioned earlier, tweezers are great for square ABs. Tweezers are great for squares regardless, but I do mostly use the tweezers for just the ABs. I have not been able to figure out tweezers with rounds. I know some people do it, but not me. So rounds or squares, bit of both. I like to change it up. I think I've never had the fear that some people have when it comes to squares, because I started with squares. I didn't know there was any difference. I didn't know that rounds were a thing. So yeah, the first canvas I ever did was squares, so it had nothing to compare it to. So squares was my go-to to start with. But with rounds, there's much less of a quality issue, so you can go down in price without having to worry. And sometimes if you've worked on a square painting the previous month, it's nice to do a round one the following month. It just keeps things interesting. So favourite method of placing AB drills. Okay, we've definitely already covered this. So for me, AB drills, pretty placer or a wax placer, or my tweezers. Yeah, every time. I have a video on placing ABs. Feel free to check it out if you haven't already. We are rushing through these questions now. What is your preferred method of sectioning off a canvas? I use washi tape around the edges of the canvas where you get that little overhang of the sticky from the poured glue. I don't tend to use it for sectioning anymore. When I'm sectioning now, when I'm diamond painting now, I just pull back the clear cover from the area that I want to work on. And sometimes if I want to give myself a clear space of this is how much I want to get done today, then I will use a couple of cover sheets to just edge the area that I want to work on that day, and then I just put the clear sheet back over when I'm done. So yeah, that's it for me really now in terms of sectioning. I don't tend to go for anything super fancy unless I've decided to work bingo style or advent style on a canvas, and then obviously I will section it into however many days or numbers I want to work on. But yeah, mostly now my washi tape is used for journaling. So last couple of questions now. Do you have any other crafty hobbies aside from diamond painting? Anyone who's been around my channel for a while will know that I definitely do. I have too many. I mentioned the other day that I think collecting crafts is now my hobby. So yeah, I enjoy many different crafts, including examples such as encaustic wax art, pin craft, resin creations, painting with brusho pigments and watercolours. Recently I have got into fibre art, so doing the felting and then returning to the string craft like I did the other day. Yeah, so the list goes on. If you can think of anything I've not tried yet, let me know in the comments and I will look into it, because I'm always open to new suggestions. So, all right, we really are rushing towards the end here. So who am I going to tag on this video? I am going to tag a few people in the hope that at least some of them decide to take part. So I will start by tagging Sharon at Pencil Surprises. I am fairly certain that she will do this. She did my last lot of tag questions, so I'm hoping that she'll do this one as well. I am also going to tag Judy at the All Fired Up Crafting Lounge, because I would like to hear her answers. I am going to tag Diamond Grandma, because I love her accent and I could quite happily listen to her answering these questions while I'm getting on with working on some diamond painting. Yeah, everybody in our house really likes to listen to her. And someone who, I don't know if they know who I am, but I'm going to tag Diamond Paintings with Mike. He's another UK creator, and also I think the guys in the diamond painting community, we need to give them a bit more love, because this is not just for the ladies, this is a craft for all people of all ages. And yeah, let's give everybody a bit of love. Go visit their channels, go subscribe to them, tell them that I sent you, and hopefully then they will decide to do this tag video as well. And finally, bonus question: if you still have it, show us your first diamond painting that you ever completed. So here is mine. I call it Cats in the Moonlight. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. But yeah, this is the one that I spoke about earlier. I received it as a 41st birthday present from a colleague at work. And it is the start of this mad, crazy journey that I've been on ever since. So yeah, that is the last question. And so, my lovely peeps, that brings us to the end of the tag questions. Thank you so much for sticking with me while I answered them. Obviously, if you've got any questions about my answers, let me know down in the comments. And keep an eye on those other creators to see if they decide to do a tag as well. So, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for being with me. Please do remember to leave a like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, become a member of the Crafty Coven. And of course, if you can afford to support my creative channel over on Patreon, then please consider doing that as well. It means the absolute world. Thank you, of course, to my current patrons. You are so appreciated, and I love every single one of you. It's all from me for now. Until next time, stay crafty.